I think we finally run off Jessica. I'm not sure that she still wants to work at Meadowlark, and I'm not totally sure I blame her.
No.
I'm annoyed by our show and how much our show is talking Miami Heat basketball.
No.
We have to pivot. This is annoying. She's quit, has she?
Yeah, she's left for the day. But you're right. It's been a lot. I know it's game 1 of the NBA Finals, but everyone's going to feel like it's too much just because it's our team. So we hear you.
Or because it's too much.
No, not possible.
No.
So we want to make sure that we are judicious with how much we talk about it. But unfortunately,
when shouldn't this have been decided? We've been at this.
Dan, there's just so much meat on the bone. And luckily for you and the listener, we're making sure that we've got every angle covered. So we've devised a new segment called Here Are Things About the Heat We Haven't Gotten to Yet.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit.
There's a lot. So if you think, if the listener thinks life has been hard listening to this show, keep in mind there's just so much more we could have talked about. And you're in luck. We're going to get to it in this segment.
No.
Here it is. Things about the Heat we actually haven't gotten to yet.
Can we talk about Kevin Love?
Let's talk about Kevin Love.
Yeah.
The Kevin Love effect. Did you know that he's made the finals anytime he's ever made the playoffs, Dan? Undefeated in the playoffs.
No.
He's just like the Marlins in full seasons. If they make the playoffs, they're going to the World Series.
That's
Kevin
what
Love
everyone
makes the
says.
playoffs, he's going to the finals. And, I'm pretty sure somebody, and I don't remember who it was, but someone came on this show a couple of weeks ago.
This guy.
And did some journalism.
No.
Speaking with players in the Heat locker room.
No.
And came here to this show and said that Kevin Love's vibe changed things in the Heat locker room and gave some credit to Kevin Love and what he was able to do both on the floor and off the floor and said that made a pretty large impact. And
how long is this I Told You So?
Duncan Robinson.
Can you shorten up the I Told You So?
Duncan Robinson, just yesterday on JJ Redick's podcast, said, you know what? Kevin Love changed the vibe in the locker room, and that changed everything for us. So that's one thing. That's just one thing.
He showed the value of laughter. He said he brought a sense of humor. The value of Everyone wonders what I bring around here. I'm the Kevin Love of this.
Well, yesterday was much of nothing because we couldn't find you, and it wasn't laughter. It was simmering rage.
Yeah, we haven't seen him for 2 days.
But if you're bothered by the Kevin Love part, Dan, we do have some other things we can talk about.
No. Wait, you say, just to be clear, I just want to be clear what this segment is. Because
there's just been plenty that we haven't gotten to.
But he's alleging that what we haven't gotten to is him doing I Told You So?
No, the Kevin Love.
That's just one.
No,
that's just Kevin Love.
Now you're catching on, Dan.
No, that's just one part. That's just one part.
Okay, I don't go and take your I Told You So and sit in the penalty box.
No, because he's essential to this segment, which is things about the Heat we haven't gotten around to.
I have plenty.
Yeah.
What's next? The next one's good.
Did you know, Dan, that Jimmy Butler playing Nickelback in the locker room really changed this entire season?
Yeah.
Another I Told You So from him?
Just
That's
things,
not me.
Just things we're not talking about.
Yeah,
We're just not talking about it
enough. We haven't talked enough about that.
Why did he not leave? Why did you just overrule?
Because
Why does he get to? He gets to overrule being sent to the penalty box.
He's essentially the host of this segment, which is called Things About the Heat We Haven't Gotten Around to
But
Yet.
I don't want to do that. I want to be in with the audience against that.
Huh.
But I have
Gabe Vincent has
I
made
have a
himself
list.
a lot of money this
People
postseason,
are
Dan.
talking about it.
Not a lot of people talking about
I
it.
feel
Not
like we
talking
talked
about it
about
on
that
this
one.
show.
No.
Gabe Vincent is playing himself into one heck of a contract, and I think
No.
teams all around the league are going to be interested in Gabe Vincent's services.
Yeah, well, hopefully we've recouped enough value from Duncan Robinson. Say he's NBA champion Duncan Robinson. Maybe there's a way that the Miami Heat can keep Gabe Vincent. It's going to be difficult for them.
Speaking of Duncan Robinson, another thing we haven't talked enough about is him holding his ear up to the crowd in Boston.
I have talked about that. I don't understand.
No, but
Not
you just talked about it in passing. Let's actually have a conversation about it.
You know, Duncan Robinson pointed out he is obviously from the area, watched games in Boston, and said that his number has been the same since high school, his phone number. And so he was put into a group chat after Game 6, after missing a couple of shots, in the final couple of minutes with a bunch of Celtics fans who were just absolutely obliterating him. So he went into Game 7 knowing he wanted to do something to showboat and said, 10 points and up 20, that's the time where I'll go ahead and hold my ear to the audience.
No.
I can't do much more of this.
Oh.
How about Brian Windhorst linking the Miami Heat to Damian Lillard? How do we feel about that, Dan?
just on
You
time
want to
for
move
that.
past this season?
Tell me it's for Bam.
Haven't had enough time.
Tell me it's for Bam.
Oh, no,
we're
it'll be
two-
for Duncan Robinson.
We're 2 games away from Mike Ryan again. If they're down 2-0 coming back to Miami and Bam can't do anything with Jokic, we're 2 games away from him again trading, and maybe 1 game away. Maybe again
you'll hear it
trading
tomorrow.
Bam.
So many bad Bam games in the playoffs. So many.
Again, he's good defensively.
Did you not read the Barry Jackson article? All the stuff he does. He
All the
sets good
screens.
Yeah. 1 for 9 against Chicago with your season on the line.
He had 3 screens in that game, though.
Oh, 3 screens. Oh.
What is that? Who is that character?
Wow.
Who is that?
He had 3 screens.
Who is that person? That's the person who celebrates 3 screens with a jowly. Where's he from? That sounds like Will Ferrell as Harry Carey. Maybe Will Ferrell as John Madden.
Is there anything else about the Miami Heat we haven't gotten around to yet?
Let me think for a second.
I want to think about it, but I think there's a chance that we've gotten to just about everything.
No.
Oh, no, I have a list. I have a
you
list.
do?
Oh, you got a
Oh,
list?
God.
Oh, you got a list.
Dang.
Okay. I want to hear
I
this.
do have
I
a
want to hear
list.
this.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron Gordon just got done saying that he's guarded Kevin Durant, and he's guarded LeBron, and he's guarded Karl Anthony Towns. And for some reason, he says Jimmy is the most complete player he will have guarded during this postseason. Those are 3 names that are pretty hard to guard at any size and at Aaron Gordon's size.
Yeah, you know what? Let me peel back the layers to this one. Aaron Gordon historically has defended Jimmy very effectively. I mean, very effectively. He is just trying to build Jimmy up. So if he does what he's been doing his entire career, he looks spectacular. He is setting up a challenge that he actually thinks is easily achievable. But what he doesn't know is Jimmy Butler is a sociopath, and numbers make no sense in the playoffs.
I've also got here how good it must have felt for Max Strus on the gram to just post that the Celtics waived him.
That was
was
tremendous.
great.
Now you're
Also,
playing the game.
Don't call it the
Dan.
gram. Just stop doing
Don't do
Just
that.
do not say the gram.
Please.
Just
Drop the.
please
Was
don't.
that
just
gram?
say you could say Instagram and we'll all understand. No one's gonna be like in their car like this loser called Instagram.
IG.
They will be judging you if you say the gram.
He did it on Insta.
Still not good. You know, still not good, though.
Jess, your thoughts?
Good,
No.
but better.
Jessica's not here. She has fled the premises because she
No.
doesn't want any more Miami Heat talk. But I do. There is one place where I do. One last place before we get to game 1. We're all going to enjoy it tonight. But there's one last morsel of information I want to get to that is the last one on the internet. And we can be done with this. And then we'll start all over right after game 1 and do it all over again tomorrow. When you are in the position that the stakes are fluctuating from game to game, one game, Jason Tatum's amazing, 50 points, get out of here, Joel Embiid. We're doing legacy talk from game to game, quarter to quarter, all of it's crazy. It's nuts. It's high intensity, nuts. We're assessing what we're going to think of you 5 years from now. And Jimmy Butler, 3 games ago, oh, he's Michael Jordan. And then, well, you're a bum, legacy game for Jimmy Butler. And it's just unhinged. When Jason Tatum goes off with an ankle injury or makes a big show of an ankle injury, limps off the press conference stage, making a big show of he's hurt, and Boston radio is filled with he was going to miss the finals. That's a high ankle sprain, even though it didn't look like a high ankle sprain.
And the segment is things we haven't gotten to
Nope.
about the Heat
Classic
just
low
yet.
ankle
No,
sprain,
but
by
I'm
the
putting
way.
them
You're
together.
going with the
No,
Jason
I'm putting them together with LeBron's torn tendon in his foot.
No.
That thing.
When he scores 40 points, and I'm putting it against Jimmy Butler saying, I don't talk about it. They asked him about his ankle, and he said, I do not talk about it, as Shams leaks a report out of nowhere immediately after the Celtics lose. Hey, Robert Williams was throwing up during the game. Like, what was leaked to Shams is something. It was leaked to him. Tummy issues. Robert Williams. Shams is going out and giving people the explanation. tummy issues. So give me what's true and what's not. If any of us were injured at work, we'd love to use it as an explanation excuse. But in the scenario I'm describing for you, it seems like LeBron's people and Tatum are the only ones doing that, and whoever it is that's doing that on behalf of Robert Williams, where they're trying to get a hold of narrative on, will you please buy us some sympathy? Our tummy hurt.
Excuses are like in that Boston's got a ton of them.
I mean, I cut my nail a little too short. My thumb really hurts right now, and I'm here today.
I threw my back out in the gym. I'm here today.
A tummy issue, though, I would have a hard time playing an NBA basketball game.
Out of fear. Where'd that tummy issue come from?
I mean,
terrified he was.
I haven't had a solid since Bill Clinton was in office.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Not a solid.
I don't understand.
I can vouch for that. I'm in it.
What does that have to do with anything?
It doesn't. I don't really. It's just
And
Bill
yet,
Clinton.
I ascended to the very height of my industry.
How old were you when Bill Clinton was in office?
Besides the point.
You're saying that you've had digestive problems since you were 9, since
Yeah.
you were 12?
Look how short my nail is on my thumb.
Look how long the nail is on my pinky.
I use that for Coke, Dan.
Well, you got in there awfully quick explaining that, Tony.
Somebody told me that in my ear. I don't know.
Wait. Can I say my joke again? Because it was a really good one. Dan, excuses are like in that Boston's got a ton of them.
I heard your joke already.
That's really good.
Oh, yeah, it was absolutely
That was
really
well
good.
done, Mike.
Yeah,
Well
yeah,
crafted.
Yeah. Good job.
Good work
Good job,
there.
Mike.
But Jessica has left, as have many of our listeners,
No.
Why would they do that?
because the show has gotten unhinged obnoxious. I don't blame Jessica for hating everything that's happening
you've
around
created
here.
a narrative. I read what was, some side swipes, but largely a complimentary article about our show on awful announcing, and you've just set this narrative that I'm annoying and obnoxious because that's how they introduce me. And I'm wondering, why would this person who doesn't know me and doesn't know what I do is largely performative calling me annoying and obnoxious? And it's because either number one, I am, and I don't think that's the reason, or two, Dan's always introducing me that way. So I think it's that one.
Largely performative.
I don't know how you can be annoying and obnoxious if you're always right.
Oh, my God. Why is he still here?
No.
All right, folks, let's actually do something that isn't heat talk. All right? What? Yeah. I heard Dan's complaints. I hear the audience's complaints. And I want to do something that is not heat talk. Something that we've largely ignored on the show and that I think it's important that we get to.
Panthers.
It's the Panthers. The Florida Panthers are playing in the Stanley Cup Final against the Vegas Golden Knights.
Can't wait.
Puck drops on Saturday. And just what a time to be alive. And there's been a lot more respect given to the Florida Panthers on the series price, courtesy of our friends over at DraftKings, a slight underdog in this series. And Roy, I want to talk to you specifically about how these two teams match up, because the strength of the Panthers defense is the forecheck, is the forwards, but they're allowing a lot of shots in. In fact, in the last series, which I remind you and Rod Brendamore was just a 4-game series, Sir Jay Bababka, he saved 19 goals above expected. 19 goals above expected. That is crazy. And he's the hot goalie, and I would like to say it's unsustainable, but we can throw out all the data with this Sir Jay Bababka. Let's just assume he continues being the hottest goalie on the planet. He still can't maintain this output. That's nuts. So what are they going to do to limit the shots of the Vegas Golden Knights? And what are they going to do offensively to get some of these goals? Because this defense of Vegas is formidable.
Well, it's a similar matchup to what they had in Carolina, basically. So what I think is they're going to have to force shots from the outside. You can't have them take shots in the middle of the ice, in the middle of the slot, in the dangerous areas. You prevent that from happening, you're going to end up winning the series.
You're going to get a lot of Roy on God Bless Hockey. Stugotz is farming out all his work, and he needed some expertise and some real credentialed media member. Roy is on God Bless Hockey, giving you analysis that you need. And the hockey team has gotten so popular that even Charles Barkley, who loves hockey, he knows how tough those guys are. He knows how fun that sport is this time of year.
He loves betting on it.
He also loves betting on it. He loves how hot Bobrovsky is.
And I'm going to just tell y'all something. Sir Jay Bababka, this is the goalie for the Panthers.
Sounds like a Russian dessert.
That should be his name.
And I'm going to just tell y'all something. Sir Jay Bababka, this is the goalie for the Panthers.
Like a pastry.
It's so delicious. I will have 3 bababkas.
And I'm going to just tell y'all something. Sir Jay Bababka, this is the goalie for the Panthers.
I love the setup there of like, I got something to say here.
What did he end up saying?
And I'm going to just tell y'all something. Sir Jay Bababka, this is the goalie for the Panthers.
He also got the first name wrong.
That's
Sir Jay.
Sir Jay.
That's why we just go Bob down
Sir
here.
Jay.
He made him a knight.
He was knighted.
He made him a knight, Sir Jay Bababka.
And I'm going to just tell y'all something. Sir Jay Bababka, this is the goalie for the Panthers.
He's not a knight. He's a Panther.
Jason Bababka.
Sir Jay Bababka is not the goalie for the Florida Panthers.
Sir Jay Bababka. Sir Jay Bababka.
Sir Jay Bababka
Hey, Canada.
of the Bababkas.
Canada, Charles Barkley and America are talking about your sport. It's Vegas and Florida for the
Sir Jay
title.
Bababka.
Suck it.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Whoa,
no.
wow.
Yeah.
Suck it.
Suck it, Canada.
Okay, so Roy, you
Yes.
are a credentialed media member, as we mention all the time, and I'd like to know, too much, one would say.
Hey.
Many are saying.
He's all Game 7. Dan.
But
All
here's
of
the
them.
thing, though. I don't know what to do with what I'm about to tell you. Roy is a very deliberate content giver, and when it comes to hockey, he is very serious about hockey. This show, historically, has not been. Roy wants to go to Vegas. Everybody on the show wants.
I object, dude. You don't think we talk about the world's greatest sport with premium expertise you can't find anywhere else, dude?
I agree that we can find some of that under our circus tent.
You think that every time we talk about hockey, we have to resort to cheap gimmicks? Do you?
It's just Roy that I'm concerned about because Roy wants to go to Vegas and drink.
Yeah.
And Roy also, from his Twitter feed, I have seen very serious hockey analysis, and I don't know what good it's going to do to have a game Saturday night and have Roy there drinking on the company tab and then emerge with, this is a power play right here.
I use my Blue Sky exclusively to make fun of Roy. Like
That's not fair.
Mahura sent off.
I get you on Blue Sky. That's not fair, man.
I appreciate
He's
the
got.
invite.
There's something to it though, because I did the Roy strategy for a Heat game, and it crushed. The tweets crush.
It's minutia.
Kyle Lowry foul.
Roy likes this game in a way that's unusual, and he likes it more than the rest of you do. He likes the science of it, and he likes the chess of it more than the rest of you do.
But he doesn't tweet about that.
Impossible, Dan. That's not true.
Au contraire, mon frère.
Well, I don't understand how you're French now.
I was hanging out with Jess. As long as you don't have a Quebec accent, I am gooch.
Do we know what is happening? Because we're going to send
Yeah, we're going to
correspondence.
be tubing down the Nar, heading over to the Mandalay Bay wave pool, and we're going to take all 2 from Vegas, baby.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I want to know what our content strategy is because I saw an email. I saw an email chain that had Roy, not only Roy going on behalf of our show, and this one really confused me. Tony.
To Vegas?
To Vegas?
Tony to cover hockey. And I'm like, why would Tony just now turned on his television 6 games ago and
less than that, like 3 games ago.
why
He
are
found
we,
nothing wrong when Charles Barkley said this.
Sir Jay Bababka.
you
I was
can
like, I know that guy.
So he was like, "What'd he say?"
That's what Bob is short for.
Sir Jay Bababka.
I don't know what our plan is, but we are going to flood the next few weeks as if we haven't already.
We'll figure out something.
We're going to flood.
The audience, for all of its complaints, well chronicled, and I really think that we should stop doing that. They should be really thankful for the Miami Heat because it would have been all Panthers talk. It would have been all. We would have gone through the checking line by now.
Yeah.
We would have had Colin White co-host with us. Like it would have been.
Luster-Ainen seems
Yeah.
like he's out for the first couple games.
He is.
I saw lines that were practicing. We got Lomberg up on the 3rd line.
Loms is on the third line?
Lundell, Loms, and Reinhardt. I'm not mad at it.
Rhino.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
That's what it would have been for weeks and weeks and weeks. That's what it would have been.
Would have been Eric Stahl.
We would have been breaking down the backup goalies. You have the Lion King versus the legend Jonathan Quick. You want to talk about a goalie that knows what it takes to lift the cup as an 8 seed? Not on this team just yet. It might be Bababka at the end of the day, but Jonathan Quick has been there, done that.
Delicious pastry.
We will figure out who it is from the show ends up where. We will continue to send Meadowlark employees to both Colorado and Vegas and hope to come back with a single victory.
You know that the Vegas Golden Knights, they're not called the Las Vegas Golden Knights. It's just Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Don't know.
Okay, that's the kind of coverage you will get.
We'll
from
get to the
Roy.
bottom of it
Let's
in
get
Vegas.
to the
Yeah,
bottom of
we're
it.
going to Vegas to find that out.
Here's a little segment I like to call Things About the Stanley Cup Final We Haven't Gotten Around to.
Yeah. Okay.
Number one, thank you for your service. Because both of these franchises have proud military backgrounds. The owner of the Golden Knights named them the Golden Knights because Black Point. Yeah. My man Bryce, Vinny Viola, even Matt Caldwell. I think all Black Point alums.
Black Point, like the marina in Miami?
No. The Army school.
West Point.
West Point.
West Point.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no, I called
Yeah,
it
you
Black
called it Black Point, like the marina in
Go
Miami.
sit,
Yeah,
in,
See
go
ya.
sit in the
I-
penalty box with your
Damn.
tiny hand. Excellent work by you.
West
I was
Point.
like, Black Point? Why
Yeah.
is he talking about Black Point?
All right, so here's what I do.
While
There's
looking
this
at Roy, no less.
There's this marina called Black Point
Saying
Marina.
that's what happened.
That only in Dade always camps out at, and everybody's pickup truck goes in there, and people just put their lawn
Why is
chairs
no
out
one
there.
respecting the penalty
I'm
box?
going.
The
I'm going.
Army
That's-
Black
He's on
Knights.
his
is
way.
The Black
also-
Knights.
It was the
Yeah.
Army
Army
Black
Black
Knights.
Not
thing.
Golden
Yeah.
Knights,
Mess.
though.
It's the Army
No.
Black
The
Knights.
Black Knights.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
we didn't
West
want-
They
Point
play at
Knights.
West Point. Yeah.
We didn't want to do
I
it
think he
wrong
wanted
enough.
to call them the Black Knights, but that wasn't approved, so he called them the Golden Knights. But anyway,
Get out of here.
I was trying to think the troops.
Okay, leave here. And by the way, you could leave with him, Jeremy. Delayed penalty that you still
Oh
didn't
my
say
God!
in the
A
last
delayed
segment.
penalty.
Should I
Both
mention
of
that
you.
UCF used to be the Golden
Get
Knights,
out
and
of
now
here.
they're the Knights?
Coincidental
Out of here
minors.
now,
Used to be
both
the
of
Black
you.
Knights, actually.
There's something that I wanted to talk about with
The cadets.
with Tony because Tony, I overheard Tony talking about something, and it filled me with a bit of shame because I was the thing Tony was talking about the other day in an airport. I'm not myself lately. There's all sorts of shit that's making me crazy, and now throw in this sports stuff, and I became guy at the airport who's loudly talking into his phone.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Dan, you know I'm a proud Metro Rail rider to the studio here, and it's about 7:42 in the morning, and there is a person who is catty-cornered to me sitting on one of the benches who is talking at a decibel level that the entire train could hear about somebody else. And I'm just sitting there, and I've looked across the aisle, and there's about 11 people staring at her, waiting for her to, like, not do what she's doing. And I just looked at myself, and I said, have I ever been that person where I'm screaming at the top of my lungs on the phone on a train? It can't be.
I have an important follow-up here. Was she on speakerphone?
She was on speakerphone for half of the
Now
half
that's
of the trip.
the worst. See, I'm
Half
going
of the trip.
on a train, especially that train. There's not a lot of places she can go to make a phone call. If you have to have a phone call, fine. But when people are on speaker, that's the ultimate.
Halfway through, she put on her AirPods and started talking loudly on her AirPods. I think. Do you have AirPods, Dan?
No.
Okay, so you were just talking. Were you on speakerphone at the
I was
airport?
not on speakerphone, but I was ashamed of myself, and I don't know how much more ashamed I would have been if someone had said something to me. But I wish someone had
I was
said
this
something
close.
to
This
me.
is out of character for you. I don't imagine you being loud conversation guy.
But it's
I
loud
imagine
at the
every phone call
airport,
you have
though.
is like,
Well, I was insane with fury. It was the problem. I was filled with.
that could
But
be.
Greg Cody did something.
again, I'm not myself. Haven't been for 2 years, and so things are happening.
You're doing great, man.
Hey, you
got a
are
lot
doing
going
great,
on.
Dan.
I know
Don't
you're
worry about
doing-
yourself.
Be happy about
Oh,
your life.
Dan,
You're
thank you,
married.
How
You're in love.
about
You got your
you?
own company.
Libertad.
Infrastructure, all that stuff.
Right
yo.
there,
Yeah, infrastructure.
How's
Yeah.
that going, by the way?
Couldn't find you yesterday.
The day either. The
I
day
gotta go.
before either.
I couldn't find you yesterday, and I'm texting, "Where the hell are you?"
And you wanted to talk about Succession so bad, and Chris Cody just disappeared.
I wanted to talk with Adnan about Succession. I wanted to talk with. I wanted to talk for 2 weeks with anybody on this show about Succession, and Jessica was the only one watching it.
I'm getting to it.
Cinephile, check it out. Adnan full breakdown without Dan because he's got a lot going
The
on.
whole point was to be with Dan. Dan wanted to scratch
was
his
looking-
itch.
Monday was a shit show. The power went down.
I was looking for you to do the segment. Can we find Adnan right now so I can do the segment with him? Can you call him so that we can just put it somewhere? Because I've been wanting to die. I've been dying to talk.
You've been
success.
wanting to die. What?
How about that tube dream, Dan? You still have those?
Team.
Where the hell were you yesterday?
I'm looking at the lineups for the last time the Miami Heat won in Denver. This is from a different time.
Denver has notoriously been a terrible, terrible place for Miami Heat basketball teams to go.
So there's some funny names on here. November 30th, 2016. Oh my God. This is the last time Miami beat Denver in Denver.
I think I can think of one player on that team.
It's going to happen once. It has to happen
has
once,
to happen
or
once.
the Heat will lose the series.
Yes.
It'll
Yes.
happen once.
It'll have to happen once. That's what Dane was saying. It'll have to happen once, at least. So, at point guard for the Denver Nuggets that were on the court the last time Miami beat them in Denver, Jameer Nelson. We got 9 more names
I
to
can't
go.
wait. I can't wait to hear all of them, each funnier than the last.
At two guard, Emmanuel Mudiay.
He was nice for a little bit. What
Oh,
happened?
yeah,
to him?
real
he was the
Hoopers know. All the
future.
real Hoopers know Emmanuel Mudiay. And much like all the real Hoopers guys, inefficient and bad.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju. Do real Hoopers know that Moutier was what for a little bit, Tony?
Nice.
Nice for a
Yeah,
little bit.
there is no bigger red flag when it comes to evaluating a basketball talent for me now than real Hoopers know. Just throwing it out there. It's just, if real Hoopers know, I'm out.
Real Hoopers.
Because you're not a real hooper.
Real Hoopers know.
Precisely.
Real Hoopers respect 41% shooting, but can always get a shot off.
Yeah.
And always get a bucket, Dan.
Yeah. Oh, I love getting a shot off that the defense loves.
That's right.
I love
That's
it.
real Hoopers
I love
know.
it. Real Hoopers know who
Nerds like
can make
games
a-
that are efficient. Oh, let me do this. Oh, because this is really cool on a spreadsheet. Loser.
Real Hoopers know how to take contested jumpers. That's all real Hoopers know.
And make them.
no, well, and make them at a
41%
40% clip. At three guard. Well, that's not three guard. Real Hoopers. I'm a
Out
real
of
Hooper.
Black
Way
Point.
to forward check.
Black
Black
Point Marine
Way to
over
front
here.
court.
Give me a break.
Give me a break, guys. I talk a lot.
Space cadet.
At small forward, Danilo Gallinari.
Celtic legend.
They could have used him.
They really could have. If he was on that team, Celtics win.
He is on that team.
But if he were like active on that team. At center. Well, no, we got to go
get four
forward.
guard.
I'm sorry. So you know what happened is I got a text.
Make it a 5-guard lineup.
Yeah, at 4 guard. This player has never been confused for a guard. Kenneth Fareed.
Manimal.
Manimal.
That's the one I knew.
That's the guy.
That's the one I knew.
Manimal.
Manimal Dan.
And at 5 guard, Josef Nurkic.
Man, remember when they were trying to decide between Nurkic and Jokic?
Oh, Mike was talking before the show about just the way that Jokic fooled Nurkic in a game by just pointing and saying, hey, it's 3 seconds, and Nurkic looked away, and then Jokic just put a layup on him because Nurkic just did as he was told. Stop playing defense and got out of the key.
You called him Jerkic, which is probably...
Made him look like a jerk.
Yeah, we may have to dump that. I'll tell you what, if we take this game 1, though, a lot of Jerkic. Hey-o. Now for the Miami Heat.
There's no hub, though.
That was a very hoarse Roy, and he hasn't gotten to Vegas yet, and he hasn't gotten game 1 or game 2.
Credentials.
I already started drinking.
Credentialed, Roy. For the Miami Heat, I actually thought this team could beat LeBron's Cavs.
Yep.
At 1, Goran Dragic. This is where it gets really funny. The 2 guard, Rodney McGruder.
Rodney.
Active hands. Active hands McGruder. At small forward, inexplicably starting because Spo was weird about his rotations, Luke Babbitt.
the Luke Babbitt run.
How would you explain to the nation Babbitt running out of the court and just jacking up 30-footers in the first?
He would play 7 minutes a game, always the first 7 minutes, never to be seen again.
Just like Myers Leonard.
Yeah.
But with a bowl of hair.
Yeah, bull.
A bowl of hair.
Yeah.
Like a salad bowl of hair had been dumped on his head.
Yeah, just they had good numbers when he started in the lineup, but he did nothing else for this
Do
team.
you
other than
realize
start.
how much in this series you're going to need salt and pepper Luke Babbitt, which is Kevin Love?
I'm going to need him. At the 4. Man, I hate this guy. I'm just going to say it. Josh McRobbed us.
Oh, this guy.
Holy cow.
This is what LeBron didn't come back to Miami for because Riley was sending him texts, hey, we got McRoberts, and LeBron wouldn't answer the text because he was already somewhere else.
We called him McBob, right? That was a nickname. God.
5 years,
but-
5 years, $25 million. I remember the contract
Yeah.
because it was McRobbed us.
And to tell you how far we've come along in hockey, this was actually a more desirable Bob contract in South Florida sports history than the one that Florida had between the pipes. But
No.
they turned it around.
No.
Yeah. And at the 5, they're not doing it with blocks. This was a triple-double with blocks. Hassan Whiteside was the 5.
So still a center getting triple doubles, just
Yeah.
a little bit different.
A little bit different. Nobody's doing it with blocks like he told you. That was the last time Miami won at Denver, which was 2016.
That's the 30-11 team, right? That team that you just said, that starting lineup for the Miami Heat won 30 games in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that team.
Dion Waiters was coming off the bench for that team.
But he had winners
hurt at
against,
that point.
He had winners later in that season against Golden State and Cleveland.
I remember walking through the bowels of the arena, and because they've got so many photographs on the walls there of stuff, Riley walking past Dion Waiters and Hassan Whiteside's pictures and, not actually spitting, although he wanted to actually spit, just spitting our alleged leaders.
That is disassociating yourself from fault, Godfather. You listened to me on extending Whiteside? How dare you? You shouldn't. I'm a maniac.
That was a crazy time in our history where the
He's still
entire,
going to let go for nothing.
as a show, we just could not. You have to give him the max. Thank you, Hassan Whiteside, who forgets that he's left a bunch of guns in his car. Thank you, Hassan, for taking a few million less because Hassan Whiteside was going to lure Kevin Durant, remember. He was going to lure Kevin Durant by giving a couple of $1 million away.
Remember how excited we all got when we found out Kevin Durant followed Nicky Spoelstra? We're like, whoa, he's coming.
If you think my Heat takes have been crazy over this run, I'm pretty sure during that run at one point I went on my college TV station and said Dion Waiters was the best player in Heat history with the initials DW.
Yeah, you are unreasonable in your homerism and emotion, and I didn't think we could do worse than Mike and Parakeet Cortez on this, but I don't know which of you three has been the more annoying Heat
They
homer.
birthed this. Like, this is because of listening to Mike Ryan and Parakeet Cortez, and it's all because of them. So you can give them the credit, I guess, if you want.
Anytime you see guts out there, it's your boy.
Hassan Whiteside's playing in Puerto Rico.
He's playing for Los Pirata.
He must be having so much fun.
I
Can't even imagine how much fun Hassan Whiteside is having.
Hundreds
in
of
Puerto
millions of
Rico.
dollars.
Oh my God, that must be
you think he's managed that well?
Well, I told you guys, right, that I get the weirdest call. One of the weirdest calls I've ever gotten in my life is from Chael Sonnen. Just my phone rings one day, and there's Chael Sonnen, and he's like, "Hey, can you?" It's a good story, though.
The bad guy.
I need the people involved to tell the story.
The bad guy.
Story doesn't work if I don't have Chael Sonnen making the ridiculous call. I'm picking up the phone, and he's like, can you tell Hassan Whiteside that I think that his house is being robbed? It's down the street over here, and he's had kids living in it for a while that I don't think have it. I think they're just coming over and playing the video games that he has there, and they're taking his things. Can you tell Hassan Whiteside? Because he was off doing whatever he was doing on a
Did
road
you tell
trip.
him, Dan?
Yeah, did you tell him?
I got the note to him. I got the information to Hassan Whiteside. That's a story. Chael Sonnen calling you to tell you that exactly what you imagine is
Was
in
his house being burgled?
well, Chael Sonnen was afraid that it was being burgled. I left the story alone after that. I let it go.
I don't know. Feels wrong.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Which part feels wrong?
I don't think burglars just play video games. Maybe they've been
Some
would have
do.
been house guests.
But if you know the house is empty, can't you play video games? Because he's got to be on a road trip. He's got to be like Hassan Whiteside's going to be gone for 10 days at a time.
So you guys think he's managed his money well?
You remember his koi pond?
Didn't he buy like a
Because he's
huge
playing for Los Piratas.
Brandon Knight on the same team. in
also on
Puerto Rico.
LeBatard?
They're loaded.
They're 2-guard.
Oh wow.
I'm happy to know that Brandon Knight's still with us. Oh, DeAndre Jordan is in this series.
What's he going to be doing?
Sitting down, not doing anything. I saw him at a shoot around, and he was taking threes. Why does DeAndre Jordan have to take threes?
Did you guys see, because this made me laugh, Richard Jefferson introduced yesterday Tristan Thompson to bring in some expertise on how to guard Jokic, and the way that Richard Jefferson introduced him was that we can learn from our failures, and here's someone who has failed. And Tristan Thompson just looks at him and goes, wow. And Richard Jefferson doubled down, and he's like, if you'd succeeded, you wouldn't be here. And that was the introduction that Tristan Thompson got on television after being somebody who people have laughed at, that he was with the Lakers for 4 minutes because LeBron needed someone from retirement to guard Jokic.
The funniest part of the Tristan Thompson experience in Los Angeles was when the Lakers got swept by these Denver Nuggets. LeBron just walked off the court briskly. Not like someone that had a torn tendon in their foot, by the way, I should mention.
Tristan's best advice was just get up in him.
It's a good thing. It's the right thing to
And
say.
maybe that's why he failed.
You got to make him feel you.
It's the right thing to say on a big like that.
What else is Tristan Thompson going to do? Lateral movement? But they, like the post game, as LeBron again's walking perfectly fine on a torn tendon.
Chael's guy though.
They do the post game interview with Tristan Thompson, and they only ask him LeBron questions. Like, how pathetic. Like, what do you think is going through LeBron's mind right now? Where's LeBron's psyche at? Do you think LeBron plays again? And, like, Tristan Thompson had to be like, what has my life become?
Well, again, the introduction to his post-basketball life is, you failed recently. You're a failure. Let's get your expertise on what it's like to fail. How do you stop Jokic? You got to get on up in it.
What?